This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. Hey, Jesse, make that our last song if you can next week. That's way better. I don't want that other song stuck in my head all the way home. I'm laying in bed at midnight, the song's going in my head, and I'm like, I get out the steak knives trying to shove them into my forehead and everything. That song, I mean, it's cool, but this one's better. But, you know, we only hear that once, and then I'd rather hear that one at the end of the show. Anyway, can you do that this show?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, okay, great.
Sure.
All right, I'll
play
stop
it over. Yeah,
I'll stop bugging you then. All right, now we don't have Mike and we don't have Steve, and it's just Todd and I. So I think we're going to do history.
We're just waiting.
We need to fill it in. We need to fill in with some stuff here. So we're going to do history.
Yeah, man. Looking at you.
And bore you to death. You ready?
Sure.
February 4th, 1922, the Ford Motor Company purchases bankrupt Lincoln Motor Company for $8 million, which pays off some of Lincoln's creditors. So here we go. Lincoln is now the high-end company for Ford, and back then they were bankrupt, and Ford saved them. So unreal.
Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So then, but Lincoln's really downsized. You don't see a lot of Lincolns around, and I don't know what's the deal with them.
Well,
once in a while you see a Navigator, a Lincoln Navigator. Other than that, I don't see a heck of a lot of Lincolns
I
around.
don't think I've seen any. Honestly.
No. Yeah. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're outlawed in Florida. Maybe you can't have one in Florida. Yeah, because if you're over 65, you have to have a Crown Vic, right? You got to have a Crown Vic.
Yeah.
That's what That's what they all drive.
They still make it.
Big Crown Vic. Crown Victoria. Yeah. I got my Crown Victoria.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to use my turn signals either.
Not in Vero, I can tell you.
Well, I will use them, but I'm going to leave them on until September when I leave.
Yeah. the wrong one.
Yeah. Anyway, November 5th, 1878, Andre Citroën, later referred to as the Henry Ford of France for developing his car's first mass-produced automobiles, is born in Paris.
Man,
the Citroën,
ugly car.
the ugliest car ever made.
That guy must have been drunk or high on crystal meth.
They look like beetles with no legs.
They're just weird looking.
They look like dung beetles or something or whatever they're called.
Ugly
car. And when they stopped production to bringing them over to the U.S. in the 70s, nobody cared. Like, we're not going to see any more Citroens around the United States. Oh, gee, that's a shame.
No big loss.
Really. If someone restored one here, they'd be like, they wouldn't be able to sell it. We're going to bring one into Barrett Jackson, and they'll sit there, no one will bid on it.
I had a lady call me one time back when I had the building downtown about doing one.
Really?
Yeah. She goes, well, I don't want to put too much in the car. I said, well, honestly, I don't have time to work on anything. I'm like, why would you want to do anything that day?
I know.
Just drive it, lady. You'll be all right.
You see a lot of those in the old James Bond movies, and it's like, how could anyone even buy one back then?
Yeah,
they were ugly back then.
It's not like you're going to escape from anybody in that thing. Heck, I could probably run faster in it.
And the thing about it is that French people loved them. I don't know. They still make them, right? I think they still make them.
I
don't know. I'd have to look that up.
I'm French, I think. I don't like them.
Okay, let's move along from Citroën. I used to call them Citroën when I was younger.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not Citroën, but whatever. February 7th, 1938, the founder of Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, Harvey Samuel Firestone, dies in Miami Beach, Florida at the age of 69.
Wow, he was young.
He probably inhaled too much burning rubber, wouldn't you think?
Might have.
Firestones. Yeah. Remember Firestones got hamstrung back in the 80s for
the 721 radial?
For the tires that were on the Ford Explorers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really their fault, It was the Explorer. I think the Explorers were, I don't know. It's a touch and go on that one.
Yeah.
Because I worked tires and we sold Firestone on the side. I mean, we had other brands. We sold all different brands. And the Firestones that were coming in, they weren't bad. They just had road hazard crap, you know.
Right.
Guy runs over a screw or something and runs it out of air and shreds the tire because he ran it out of air. But I don't know what happened with all that. But they ran some tests where they tried to make the Explorer fall over on these fires. They ran they had to run like 49 times before they could make the thing fall over or something like that. It was absolutely ridiculous. All right, February 8th, 1985, Sir William Lyons, known as Mr. Jaguar, the founder of Jaguar, dies in Warwickshire, UK. There's another one that just kind of passed us by, didn't it?
Yeah.
This is how bad history is sometimes. It's really boring. And finally, February 9th, 1846, believe it or not, another guy, luxury car brand founder William Maybach, is born in Heilbronn, Germany, along with Gottlieb Daimler. Maybach would go on to develop a new four-stroke internal combustion engine. So he was actually the guy that did it. It wasn't Henry Ford, you know. Yeah. And then Maybach sued him, Henry, and Henry beat him because he had more money, more attorneys. So Maybach actually made a car in the United States for a little while. Springfield, Massachusetts, it was made. And and people bought him too, but I guess he must have paid out a lot to...
Ford was a little bit more
go up against Ford. Yeah, Ford was selling millions of cars at that point, probably, and he had no chance with the attorneys. He had all the
corruption in his back pocket.
Oh yeah. Henry Ford was a nasty guy, man. He did some bad stuff to people. I'll tell you what.
Surprised their cars are still around.
He stole another idea from someone else too, and got sued for that. I forget what it was, but it was way back when he first started. Unreal. Henry.
Yeah.
Henry might be not in heaven right now. He might be somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, when the guys were striking, for union, he had some of them killed.
Really?
He sent in some guns and shot them up. They were all running away. Anyway, we're gonna do some tech talk for you, and I have a lot of tech talk, I believe. Well,
great.
Well, it's better because it'll fill up the show because we don't have Mike here to laugh at.
Yeah.
Right.
Miss you, Mike.
Yeah.
Eat some Orange Crush, buddy.
Okay, so anyway, let's jump to Tech Talk real quick.
Let's go.
Okay, Pete from Vero Beach says, my 79 Z28 has a rattle behind the dash. I thought it was the speedometer cable. I replaced that cable and still had the rattling noise. I replaced the lock cylinder and the rattling still there. I see a rod-like cable running up the steering column, and I'm not sure what the purpose is for that, but I can feel and hear the noise coming from under the metal sleeve that is converging on the steering column.
Yep.
Any ideas what that could be? Do you know?
That rod goes to the ignition switch.
Right.
So when you turn the key, the rod pushes down and it pushes the ignition switch.
Okay.
That's how it starts. But I doubt that's the rattle. Is the rattle when you take off and accelerate? So it's kind of a vague question. Does a rattle come from when you're driving down the road? Does it? Because you can replace the speedometer cable. Have a rattle or the noise through the speedometer cable and replace it and still have that noise if you don't lubricate it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, there could be a lot of different things.
What I found was it could be the neutral park rod coming up the steering column to the key cylinder, like you said. Right. And this person I said he can feel it bouncing around and vibrating inside the column. So it's not tied down, of course. It moves inside that column.
Well, it gets play. You might want to adjust the switch itself.
Yeah. Or the neutral park rod.
Yeah. Or put some tape around it. Maybe it might help it quit from rattling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. Pete from Vero Beach.
See you, Pete.
I haven't seen a 79 Z28 around. Maybe he's restoring it. Says he's in Vero. 79Z. I haven't seen a 79Z around. Have you? No. To be a soft nose, right? Soft nose Camaro. I don't leave
home too often anymore.
Yeah. Dale Warrington's still got his blue one. His girlfriend does, and she's had that since new, I believe.
Yeah.
That blue one, beautiful car. That's an 81 though.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Very nice. And it's nice because if he's at a car show and someone spits on the sidewalk, they go home because it's too wet out. You know what I mean? He's like, "Hey, I think there's a cloud coming in. It's white, but we better go home."
Yeah.
That car's never seen rain. I don't think I think they don't wash it either. They just use cleaning compounds on it, whatever they use. You know, they never put water on it, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
It looks great though. It's good as new.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't get a lot of miles. She doesn't take it out at all. Anyway,
It's a good way to
Danny.
preserve it.
Yeah. In his garage, of course. Danny from Palm Bay says he recently purchased a 67 Fairlane 500. There's a distribution valve for the brake system in addition to the 4 ports where the brake lines are connected, of course. There's another connection at the top center of the valve, which appears to be electrical.
Yep.
It's not currently plugged in, and I'm not sure what it's for. Of course, can you guys shed some light on this? That's
it's for the
that's the idiot light, right?
Yeah,
For the,
it goes to the brake light.
it goes to the
indication
dash.
light.
If your brake fluid is low, right? Your brake fluid or brake pressure.
Yeah, brake pressure mainly. It's controlled off from pressure. Yep.
So the electrical connection is on top. It's for the idiot light on the dash that comes on if you have no brakes. So if the light is on right now, you have no brakes, Danny, up in Palm Bay. It's a safety mechanism to turn on a light on the dash to let you know there's a problem with the hydraulics in your brake system.
Sometimes the light will come on if it's not plugged in.
Oh, right, that's true too, right? If it's not plugged in, if it came out of there, it would be the circuit has been broken, so it would light up the light.
Different. Some might be different. I don't know. It's hard to say.
But that's what your electrical connection is. And I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't make fun of Danny. He might be a new guy that, new to restoring cars or something, or trying to work on his own car.
Yep.
Sorry about that, Danny, but it is called an idiot light. You're not an idiot. It's just called an idiot light.
He is.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll wrap up the Tech Talk and we'll go home and eat dinner. Okay,
right.
And if you're listening on Saturday, we'll go home and eat lunch. Anyway, we have Classic Car Radio. We'll be right back.
Offering 24/7 emergency services, Joe Scazzari Roof Services Consulting offers prompt handling of homeowners' insurance claims and has been serving the Treasure Coast for over 40 years. Scazzari's roofing experts can fabricate and install standing seam metal roofs on site, saving you thousands of dollars. And for those do-it-yourselfers, they can cut and fabricate your metal roof and deliver it right to your home or job site. Got a flat roof? Scazzari Roofing and Consulting specializes in all commercial and residential flat roofing systems. State certified and licensed, Scazzari Roofing and Consulting is family-owned and operated. Check out their website at roofservicesconsulting.com or give them a call at 772-388-7453 or toll free at 888-675-8106. Scazzari Roofing and Consulting Contractors.
Have you ever wanted your carpets or area rugs cleaned, but you just didn't want to deal with the noise, the wet carpet, and that long dry time? And what happens to all that wet stuff underneath the carpet? Ew! Well, Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning solves all that with their guaranteed 1-hour dry time. Their low moisture process dries fast, smells great, and it's safe for your kids and pets too. And guess what? They also clean sofas, love seats, chairs, and recliners. Heaven's Best serves all of Indian River County and Barefoot Bay. They're bonded and insured, and your results are guaranteed. Don't put it off any longer. Grab your phone and call Keith at Heaven's Best, 772-643-6999. You'll be thrilled with the results. 772-643-6999.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, and all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. We're having a big February clearance sale, which includes all Tommy Bahama and Lexington in stock or special order, 50% off. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach, next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com, and don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. I'm here still with Todd. Todd, you here? You here? Okay, good. So we're doing some tech talk for you all, and we got a lot of, we got like 5 people that wrote in this week, maybe 6, no 5, and so we're going to finish up the show on tech talk. And before we do though, let's real quick jump into. We have a car show coming up this weekend. Where? Isla Mirada.
Is that what it's called? Isla Mirada.
Isla Mirada Brewing Company, right down in Fort Pierce.
Yeah. And
that's a good show, and you get free beer for bringing a car, right?
Beers and Gears.
Yeah,
Isla
Beers
Mirada.
and Gears.
February
there it is.
10th, 11 to 3.
11 to 3 down in Fort Pierce.
Yep, that'll be good. And then they got Gesundheit.
Thank you.
They got a one at the McKee on Saturday.
McKee Gardens, yeah.
McKee Gardens. Yeah.
That's the same date for that,
same
that
day,
one. Okay.
This Saturday.
McKee Gardens what is their theme this year? Do you know?
Muscle cars, I believe.
It is, really?
Yeah, it's the first.
Oh, gee, I'd go to that.
Something
I thought it was something else this year.
exotics and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, usually last year was like exotic sports cars or something.
I think, muscle cars is a good thing to do because.
Well, if it's muscle cars, I might make the trek down there.
Yeah, it's muscle cars. I mean, everybody wants to see muscle cars. They're going to want to see them before they look. I'd want to see a muscle car before I would.
Absolutely.
Ferrari,
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
A British car or something like that,
The funny thing is Wayne Sandlin can, every time he can go to any of those shows, he has all different cars.
Yeah.
So Wayne can bring anything. Lucky guy.
Yeah.
So, and then the following week on Sunday, the 18th, is the big show at Elks. You have that one up, Jesse? I know that was further down on the Sebastian Muscle Car page. I saw it earlier today.
20th annual.
20th annual. There it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Sebastian Elks is always good for at least 200 cars minimum. Usually about 220, and then they really can't fit too much more. They try to squeeze them in. And those guys that can't get in, sometimes they'll park across the street even, just to be part of it, even though they can't be in the actual Elks parking lot. But they clear that whole field out back, and they fill it with cars. Yep. And I really think they could squeeze more if they changed some of the way that they park them. But who am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
Just a guy that does a radio show.
I think they need to change. Their categories are a little goofy.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you say that?
I've had a few people tell me about it, because I've mentioned, hey, you going to the Elks? Well, I don't know. I don't like their categories. They're judging,
really?
Their car categories.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of times people, for the size of it, for the size, for the amount of cars, it's, like the AACA and some of these, shows that throw a pretty big car show.
Yeah.
They have a lot more categories for them.
Right.
Theirs, they don't seem to have that many categories for the amount of cars that they have.
Did we ask Dan last week when he came on, did we ask him how many trophies they had? I think I forgot how many trophies they had.
I don't know.
Usually it's like 13 or 14. They might have a club participation award for like Sebastian Muscle Cars, probably win that one. Right. Unless Space Coast Camaro comes down or Space Coast Mustangs shows up, they might take that award away from them. But otherwise,
get there early if you want a good park. Good parking spot. Yeah.
Get there early because
I'm gonna get there early just to get my car parked.
And,
on my truck
hang
or whatever.
Out. Yeah, you taking the truck? You think?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so we have more shows coming up, and then of course the American Muscle Car one I mentioned. I think they said, did I say April 4th? The re-pop on that show. I think I said that. Yeah, no, April 14th. I'm sorry, Sunday, April 14th.
Yeah, and I think
American Muscle Car Museum.
The AACA's in March 18th or something like that. Yeah, that's coming up. Too.
Yeah, that's coming
Next
too.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a spring rod run in Daytona. Got a lot of good things happening. We still got 2.5 months worth of good car stuff.
So let's do some more tech talk and wrap it up.
Let's do it.
Brian in Fort Pierce
Hey, Brian.
says, I need some advice on an Edelbrock 600 CFM carburetor in my 69 383 Charger. It's about 10 years old and starts great when cold every time. And it starts fine with a nudge of gas almost every time after warmed up. But if it stalls, you are screwed, he writes. It seems like it's an instant flooded carb. And if I let it rest for 10 minutes, it starts right up again with no sputtering like it was flooded. Any help would be appreciated.
Time for a new carburetor.
You think so?
I wouldn't waste my time on one.
On an Edelbrock? Yeah, you don't like Edelbrock carbs. I know you.
No, because once you have a problem with them, it never goes away. I mean, you can mess with them. They're just junk.
Okay.
Get you a Holly. Yeah.
But I found the fuel pressure is a good place to look. Edelbrocks don't like much over 6 pounds. It'll push fuel past the needle and the seat and check your flow levels. Make sure everything's at spec. A spacer is also required on these cars. On a 383, you're going to need a spacer on that Edelbrock to raise it up to get a heat spacer, basically, right?
Even put a fuel pressure, putting a fuel pressure regulator on is really not going to help a whole lot because it's going to change so much based off from engine temperature inside the engine bay. Your pressure, it'll actually change it, believe it or not. So they're just very temperamental once they start having problems.
Yeah. Yeah, well, just from past shows. Yeah. Way past. Way back.
I used to push
you never
Holly
liked
snipers.
Them. Holly.
I mean, they're okay, but they're not for a car that's built that has any kind of cam or anything. Stay away from it.
From Sniper?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, but
boy, something in this room got to me, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Anyway, it's
you
very
stay
uncomfortable.
over there, okay?
No, I'm not sick at all. It's just there's something the allergy or something. It's weird. It just came on all of a sudden. I'm over here hacking and sneezing and everything. But we still have a couple minutes to go, so I'm going to have to just soldier through this.
Just blow it in your sleeve. You'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay, so one more. Mike from Port St. Lucie says he also has this Z28. I want to get the car up and running. I have access to two TBI 350s, which is a throttle body injection. Is it worth trying to make a TBI work, or should I just swap the intake carb from my old engine? Also, is there any major differences between a carb 350 and a TBI 350? A throttle body, I always thought was a little more powerful than just a regular carb, right?
Well, they're more responsive.
Yeah,
they're more reliable than a carburetor as long as everything's working. I liked them, but this particular car, I'd carburate it.
Yeah,
go with Holly.
But you were just talking about snipers. The sniper would go great on that engine, wouldn't it?
Sniper would go
350 like that.
Yeah, as long as it's not all camby, ain't got a big cam or anything like that in it. And it's pretty much basically stock. The sniper worked great. You don't have a whole lot of tuning issues with it.
Yeah, but he said he wants to get the car up and running, so I don't think he's really built anything. It seems like he's just trying to get it running.
Yeah, I would. If
he wants to spend the money, though.
If he's going to go with a fuel injection, I wouldn't go with something you got laying around, bud. Chances are it's going to be junk.
Right.
I would go buy you a new sniper system, put a sniper in it, or just get you a good carburetor. But I wouldn't, mess with a regular old throttle body. It's been laying around for a while.
Now, would a 78 Z28 have an O2 sensor in it already? Do they have O2s back then? A 78 O2 sensor?
I don't think so.
If he put in a sniper, wouldn't he have to have O2 sensor?
Can do it. You can drill a hole and put a bong. You can put this, the O2 bong in it.
Right. Okay. All right, so that is our show. Thank you very much for listening. And if you watch the show on Facebook or YouTube, remember that we're also on WAXE 107.9 FM and 1370 AM Saturdays at 2 o'clock right here in Vero Beach, Sebastian, and all around the whole area, and all those thousands of people that just love to listen. Thank you very much, and we are out of here.
Peace.